Hey guys, make sure the audio is set up right. I'm just gonna trust that it's working. Have faith, ye of little faith. Hey guys, I'm Pretty Lit Esma. Welcome back to the Just Okay podcast. I've decided that from now on, if I want, I'm gonna be crocheting or crafting during it. Why? Because I freaking can. It's my podcast and I can do what I want with it. Also, I think it will get me to do it more because what is a comedian without a podcast these days? So, I'm trying to think what to catch you up on. I just got back from South Texas. I spent the week there. I was in South Padre specifically. And going back to South Padre, like, it's not the first time I've gone back as an adult that doesn't drink anymore. But it is a weird experience because, like, I've hit what should have been a rock bottom at South Padre and then just lived on it for like about, I don't know, I was maybe 19 when I went, so 4 more years lived on that. And you shouldn't be allowed to do more than one spring break at South Padre, like one at most. Most people shouldn't. And if you don't know what it is a beach in Texas, so it's not like a good beach. And basically, it's legal to drink on that beach. I've heard people, as in, someone tried to fight me on this and was like, you can drink at any beach in the U.S. I'm like, that's not true. Look at Snooki. Look at Snooki. She got arrested on the Jersey Shore. I don't know, maybe it's because she was drinking on the boardwalk, but that queen. Also, she has cervical cancer. That's sad, but she'll be fine because she has money. And I love that for her. I love that. I'd love to have money. Honestly, it is crazy to think, like, if anything happened to me, I don't have a way of paying for it. I would just be racking up debt I'm never gonna pay. Kind of like my student loans. I'm not excited to pay those back. Like, I've been paying those back, but I'm not enjoying the process. I don't really get why. I didn't do anything with my degree. Okay? I didn't even want to get a degree in the first place, but back to South Padre. I was talking about South Padre. Also, if you're wondering what I'm making a shirt that's going to go like this. Well, you'll see the vision eventually. But basically, South Padre, again, it's like an armpit of a beach. It's fun. And the thing about it is I love a shitty beach town. It's one of my few, like, favorite, like, things. I love to vacation in a really, like, shitty beach town where they have merch, and the merch there is like a Confederate flag swimsuit next to a fucking gay pride swimsuit because they just want money, and I love that. However, it is very, you know, conservative down there. I did a show out there and they were like, you can say whatever you want, just know the room is conservative and you cannot use God's name in vain. So, like, no oh my god, or like goddamn, no hell yeah, or whatever. It was kind of I had fun, to preface. It was a complete shit show. Whoever the host was, I felt so bad because one guy drove all the way from Austin to go do that show, and he was supposed to, like, headline an hour. I did the show just because, like, I was there and I was like, whatever. And this is what being like at the point in comedy where we're at is, like, where you get offered stage time to do an hour and it's 6 hours away and you're paid and there's free lodging, you're gonna do it. But so this guy was supposed to headline. I felt so bad, and he's funny. His name's Hunter, and he ended up getting to do 15 minutes instead because the host, whoever was hosting, did 20 minutes up top, 10 minutes in between each comic, and I was, like, pre-approved by the guy who books it, and then the host decided to add on like 3 to 4 other comics besides me and the 2 people that already drove down for it. It was weird. And also it was so funny because in the middle of each set, he started to do, like, podcast read style ads for, like, local people who were in the crowd just shouting them out. And then it was someone's birthday. So then it literally also, this room, it felt like a strip club. It was like at some resort. Like, it smelled like it, didn't feel like it, but it did smell like a strip club. It was in a room in some random resort in South Padre. Yeah, it was crazy. I felt so bad for the guy. I had a fun set, but it was, like, very conservative, and I don't like having people put restrictions on my set for that. Like, I'm happy to do it to, you know, like, it's your room. I respect that. But it is one of those things where you don't feel as comfortable being, like, there on stage the whole time. I'm just like, because I probably say, oh my God, a lot. I'm a fucking white ass bitch for a Latina. But no, I am, like, very, like, I say, oh my God, like, throughout the day constantly. However, oh my God isn't even, yeah, I don't know. It's, it was what it was, but South Padre is fun, and I stand by that. As someone who doesn't drink, it is harder to have fun, but you can still do it, you know? You can still do it. I went go-karting, and we went to this, like, 2-floor go-karting place. It was really fun. It did take forever, and I was very stoned and didn't have my ID, so I was the one driving responsible. And that was a lot of, it was enjoyable. And then they have all the, my favorite type of rides are the droppy things. And I didn't go on it there. You know, like the ones where you, kind of like the Tower of Terror, but not. I've never gone on the Tower of Terror, though, because I was a pussy as a baby. I was a big baby as a baby, okay? I was so afraid of roller coasters. I wanted to do them, but I would just, like, chicken out. I felt so, looking back, I feel bad, because my mom loves roller coasters, and I would pussy out by the time I got to the front of the line, and she'd have to stand with me, which sucks. That sucks so hard. I did that at Disney World multiple times for multiple rides. I've done that my whole life until, like, the age of 22. I went on a roller coaster with some lesbian I had a crush on, and her sister, who I also had a crush on, but she was straight, so it's fine to have a crush on her, because nothing was gonna happen. But we went on roller coasters at Six Flags, and I wasn't a bitch because I didn't want to, you know, maybe I should have played a little afraid so she could comfort me, but I didn't. I wanted to seem cool and like I could hang, but it was a blast. And ever since, I've loved roller coasters. Like, yeah, and that's my story. When I was in Florida earlier this year, I went on a roller coaster there at Universal Epic. They have this one ride, and it was a lot of fun. I had a blast, but someone who already, I will say, I think he had a spine injury. He was like, had a disability from a spine injury maybe, but he passed away after going on one of the rides 7 times in a row, which doesn't seem safe for anyone, let alone if you already have issues. Like, apparently he couldn't hold himself up, which sounds awful to be on a roller coaster like that if you can't hold yourself up, because you're just gonna be like this the whole time. And like, I don't know, that's my opinion. That sounds like a really, either a fun way to die or an awful way to die, one or the other. Either he died having a blast or he was in pain. So who knows? But yeah, that was a fun little trip. Also, I will say, since going there, I have started playing Mario again. I've been playing Mario Galaxy. I'm different. Yeah, I'm a gamer girl. I just won Princess Peach back. That's been a big part of my life. It reminds me why I stopped playing Mario, is because when I can't beat a level, it makes me so angry. Because I will play it again and again until I beat it, and then I just feel like a crazy person. I'm like, I have to put this down. I'm 28 now, just playing Mario in bed, getting angry at it. Getting angry at a video game. I'm getting angry at fucking cartoon-ass plumbers. I can't continue to play this as often, but I have been doing that, and like I said last time, I'm still doing words with friends. So far, a lot of words. I don't think I'm playing with friends, though. Hot take. I'm playing with random people I match with on the internet, but maybe, well, it's the friendships we form along the way. I play against, like, the same people every time, though, because I'll be like, okay, you play, I'll rematch you. And lately I feel like I'm obliged, like, where I, like, have to keep playing so I don't upset them, or they'll be like, where have you been, girl? I took, like, 48 hours to respond to your word. So I think I might have to stop that, because I can't play Words with Friends casually. I either am all in or I don't play it at all. And I think I might have to just go back to not playing it at all, because it stresses me out whenever I go back and I haven't played it in a few days, because I feel bad for them. Too much of an empath. But I don't know, add me on Words with Friends. I don't know what my name is, but I imagine it's Brittany Ledesma or something. If you want to be my friend and play with words. I need to stop saying I was about to say it again, but I didn't. Creek in the Cave had its 20-year anniversary. I didn't even finish talking about South Padre. This is what I don't like about me sometimes, is I can't get to a point. This is why women can't finish stories sometimes. We weren't given the chance because men talked over us, and then we never developed the ability to tell a story. That's my truth, at least. Maybe they were right, though. There was no potential to tell a story, because my fucking stories are circles. You don't know where it starts, where it ends, or what it's... There is no point. There's no end. But South Padre was a lot of fun. I don't know. It was like kind of a horror because I had my like really like conservative God family show up, and it was great. Loved seeing them, but it was a horror because they were like, we're gonna go to the show. Thank God they bailed. Anytime someone says they want to come to a show, they don't really mean that. They love the idea of going, but then when it comes to actually going, they fail. And I love that. I love that because it's okay. I don't know if I want you to listen to these. I don't know if I want my godfather who baptized me to listen to me talk about my warm pussy on stage. I'm totally okay without that. But it was an enjoyable trip overall. I got to spend a lot of time at the beach, and again, by beach it is not great, but it is what they have. I didn't like get in the water. I don't get it. Okay, I go to South Padre. I don't get in the water. I get in a fucking pool. I don't get in the ocean there. Why? Because they have sharks very often. My dad sent me, there were like 2 shark attacks in the span of like, I don't know, 6 months there. Last year or the year before. And I know that's a while off. But I'm okay. I don't need that. Because they also caught a shark like 3 days before we got there. 2 days after being there, we're at the beach and someone catches a shark. Granted, it was a baby hammerhead and it was a really big guy. It was like, you're such an asshole for not like releasing it. Like, he kept yelling, grab me a knife, grab me a knife. But like, it was crazy that someone caught a shark, even though it was like small. And like, people still kept swimming in the waters after that. They started trying to fish over there, chumming it up, literally. It was weird. It was weird. Also, I mean, they kept yelling, grab me a knife. I guarantee you they ate that shark, which if you've eaten shark, let me know how it tastes. I'm not saying it would taste bad. I don't know what taste it would have, but I feel like it would be pretty plain. And I don't know. To me, sharks are like horses of the ocean. Like, I'm not gonna eat it. But it's like a horse you can't ride unless you're like really dangerous and cool. It's like a horse you have to ride, but like with a leather jacket underwater and sunglasses on with a cigarette. That's what a shark is. Or it's a really straight dolphin. But I felt bad for that shark. And everyone thought it was the coolest thing. And it's like, it's a baby shark, bro. Like, you're not that, like, you're a really big guy holding a shark that like looks this big. Like, you're kind of an asshole. Just let it go. If you're gonna kill anything, kill its mother, which not supporting that, but like, kill a big shark. Don't kill a baby shark, you dick. I'm here standing up for all the baby sharks of the world. But yeah, that guy should have been attacked. Also, like, I don't understand why people would swim in the water after someone catches a shark. Because, like, you're just gonna get attacked by a shark, maybe. You're just gonna get attacked by a shark, maybe. Like, I don't know. Getting attacked by a shark, you have no one to sue. Like, you're not suing anyone. I guess, like, maybe if you got travel insurance for the trip, it would help. I'm not positive. You'll have to fucking Google that. Or ChatGPT. So, I don't know. I just wouldn't like to... If I got attacked by a shark, because you can't, like... You have to find a way to profit off of it. Is what I feel. Because you can't sue anyone because it's a fucking shark. It's like getting attacked by a bear in nature. Like, I don't know. You're on their turf. Like, when I go in the ocean, I'm in their home. I'm not trying to upset them. I don't, like, I'm on their turf. They have the right to kill me if they want. Just like how we have the castle doctrine. They got their fucking, I don't know, water world dolphin. why did I say dolphin? I don't know. My brain's not working. But yeah, getting attacked by a shark just seems like a bad deal. And so then you'd have to make it like a personality trait for the rest of your life. Literally, like, you'd have to find a way to profit off of it. I would pull a full Bethany Hamilton. I'd be like, instead of like a girl who has to go surfing with one arm, I'd be a girl who has to crochet with one arm now. Yeah, things have changed. And I overcame it. I got bit by a shark and I had to learn to crochet again. I had to learn to do stand-up again. I had to learn to ride a moped with one arm. Yeah, I don't know. Just, if I got bit by a shark, you would never hear the end of it, even if it was a tiny little nibble. But that's my opinion. We got back though, and just the drive through South Padre is not, well, not through South Padre, but like from Austin to South Padre, it's a hefty drive. It takes about 6 hours, including stops minimum, and it's not my favorite time. I also don't drive though, so I'm just sitting in the car, which is nice. I'm very fortunate for that. Hashtag blessed. I did rent the car though. I rented a blue Ford Bronco. It was freaking sick. It was a new one though, so it wasn't as cool as an old one, but it was very nice. It makes me want to get a Ford Bronco. Then I looked up the prices and I said, never mind. I have moped money, okay? I have moped Facebook Marketplace money. That's my deal. I'd ride around looking like the DoorDash driver with the fattest ass on my moped, and I love it. The DoorDash drivers they have this attitude. I hate, because like I used to do to-goes at a restaurant, and DoorDash drivers are like not nice the DoorDash drivers, majority of the ones I have interacted with, are not nice to the people working at the business. Also, you are taking tips away from the people working there as well. Because like, we don't make money on that order. And so I'm getting minimum wage in Texas. So working to-goes, you get paid $7.25 an hour plus tips. And sure, yes, ideally a business would pay someone more, but they don't. They're like, $7.25 is the best we can do for a tip position here. And it sucks. But the DoorDash drivers were really rude. They demand things. Yeah, people would like ask for like free food, and I'm like, we can't do that here. Also, like, I got yelled at once by a man for not speaking Spanish. I mean, I like don't speak Spanish well, but I can a little bit. And he didn't even try to speak Spanish to me though, so he didn't know that. He was like, you're a white bitch working at this Mexican restaurant. It wasn't a Mexican restaurant. It was like opened by the whitest man ever, yelling at me how I don't speak Spanish. Never once spoke to me in Spanish. I like had to get my manager, because I was just like, this guy's being real not nice to me right now. But I don't know. Lately, when people are mean to me, I've been being a really nice bitch about it. Like, I don't know, there is something, and like working, I think, in the service industry has made me learn how to be a bitch in the nicest way possible. Like, one of my managers I've had, she has worked in the service industry for like 20 years, worked her way up to being a manager from like a server, which is great. It's cool when you see that story happen, and it's like a very sweet, loving woman, and it's so fun because she can not raise her voice at all, just smile at you and say something, and it will fucking tear you apart. I aspire to be that level of like HR correct bitchiness when needed. My minor version of it was, I was in San Antonio I was doing shows at the Riot one night, and I waited in line for a taco, and this lady behind me was like, I was waiting in line for a taco, and there was a hot dog place behind me, and I was like, those hot dogs look good, while I was in line for the taco, and the lady behind me at the taco place was like, no, those are really good, you have to get one, it's so worth it, you'll thank yourself. So I went and got one, which also, like, telling everyone in line that the hot dog place is better is such a funny way to cut in line. I love that. I love that. I love the idea she did it to every customer in front of her until she got to the front, and it worked. But no, so I went to go stand in the line for hot dogs, and there wasn't a great line, but everyone was lining up this way, hot dog place right there, and then there's this man standing over here. He's over here, line is over here, hot dog right here, he's right here. I go stand in what, you know, appears to be the line right there. And it comes, and he makes eye contact with me, and it almost looks like we're both like, yeah, this is taking a while. And we look at each other and then go like this. So I thought he was saying, yeah, it's taking a while. And so then when someone asked for my order, because I am in the line, he's like, oh, so we just don't get in line now? And I was like, excuse me? He was like, I'm in front of you. I was like, okay, go ahead. He was like, no, you already. And the guy was like, no, I can take your order. I was like, yeah, let him take your order. He just wanted to be, he was so rude. He was like, well, clearly I was in front of you. I was like, no, dude, the line was over there. And he kept trying to fight about it. He had like a Superman tattoo big on the back of his calf. So I imagine he didn't have the best father figure or something, and he needs someone to look up to, and that was Superman. So this guy just like sucked. His vibe sucked. He eventually got his hot dogs, which God forbid, I was just getting one single glizzy, you know, and he was getting like a couple. He was not in a good mood. And so I said at the end of it, I hope the rest of your night gets better. And he was so pissed. The only thing he could think back to say was, you too, and then run off, which is not the biggest altercation, obviously, but I felt really good being the bigger person. There's few times I feel good about being the bigger person. It's fun when it's like that, because I'm only being the bigger person to be a bitch. But yeah, I don't know. I don't talk to my sister. We didn't talk for 7 years. I don't know how often I've really talked about this on the podcast, but my sister and I don't talk. I have like I'm not close to most of my family, and I'm very okay with that. And people always get so like uncomfortable when they hear you don't talk to a family member, like a sister, and they'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, I'm not. In fact, you probably will get it too if you met her. Like, I can't, like, I don't, you know, like, I can't explain it. We just like, we're two very different people, and I don't think she's a bad person. I just think she's not my type of person. You know, we just don't get along, and our lives are just better without each other. Because, like, I don't know, for me, I've always wanted to be friends with my sister. Like, I looked at, to switch from hot dogs to like a real topic, I have just always wanted to be my sister's friend, and that is something I don't think she'll ever think of me as, and that's okay. I gave up trying. Like, the only time she's like, I guess when we were little, but like even then not really. And then I really wanted to be her friend when I was in college. Like, I was a bratty kid. I didn't like her husband, but like I didn't like him because she kind of, the only time she was never single for like long periods of time, which is not important, but I get frustrated with people who can't be single ever. But she like was single finally in college, and I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, like, we get to hang out. And she was like hanging out with me a lot. She went through a bad breakup. We were hanging out, and then we start going to the gym, and I realized she has me go with her to the gym. Cause like that's mainly where we're hanging out, is at the gym. And I didn't realize till after like a week or two, oh, she's only taking me with her to the gym so she can flirt with the front desk guy, who's now her husband. It worked out. But it's like, she's never wanted to be my friend, and that's fine. But I also have zero interest in having someone in my life that just makes me, we don't get along. It's not a good relation. Like, why would I want to put myself through that? I know that's not that much detail of like our relationship, but we didn't talk for 7 years because I was supposed to be the maid of honor in her wedding, and she kicked me out of the wedding because, and granted, I shouldn't have said this. I don't talk about my family dynamic that much. I probably have in the past, but my younger sibling and I, we talk. At the time, the pronouns were he, because he was born a he, transitioned, and now they, them, she. But he, at the time, like, had attempted suicide in 2017. The morning after my birthday. So rude. Didn't even get me a gift. Still, what a way to get out, giving me a present. So we were all scared, but we didn't know is that after, and like, basically my sibling slipped into a very big, like, addiction. Very big addiction. They are a heroin addict and fentanyl addict that is now in recovery and doing very well at this point in time, almost a decade later. However, back in 2017, that was not the case. We didn't know how bad the drug use was at the time. But basically, my mom and I didn't have a good relationship, and when I would come home from college, they would blame their drug usage on me, pretending I was the one smoking weed. It wasn't just weed, though, is what it turns out. But, and so I was like, no, you can't. So I would tell on them because I didn't have a good relationship with my mom already, and I didn't want to make it worse. But we got in a fight one day, and this is maybe like 6 months after attempting suicide. And he says he's cutting himself because of me after I like ratted on him for doing drugs. And I said, and then he was like, I'm gonna kill myself, and threatening it. I was like, well, stop threatening it and just do it then, bitch. Which isn't good. And I shouldn't have said that. But I was getting tired of it, and it's what I said in the moment. And my sister kicked me out of her wedding completely. And that really sucked. It sucked. And everyone in my life kept telling me I need to be the bigger person. That's why I started the story. The bigger person is what I'm talking about. Because, okay. I kept getting told I needed to be the bigger person. And that is one of the biggest things that irks me. Because why am I, as someone 4 years younger than you, that's supposed to be looking up to you, having to be the bigger person? I have continually been blamed for a lot of stuff on her part. And I just can't continually feed into it. It's just, like, he was blatantly using drugs and blaming it. He told me when he got sober that he, like, would fake having panic attacks to make sure I wasn't allowed to come home. Also during this time period, I wasn't allowed to go home, which is not ideal. But it was okay. I'm fine now. I'm on good terms with my parents, and I love them both, but I understand they, like, were genuinely afraid of their child trying to kill themselves again, or attempt suicide again. Can't kill yourself twice. But yeah, it was a really tough period, but I've never felt so alone. Because it was also like, this all happened within the first 6 months of me going off to college. As, like, I just transferred from ACC to Texas State. Within my first, like, week of living in San Marcos is when my sibling attempted suicide. So it was just, like, so much change at once, and it was, like, extremely difficult. But I am lucky I had a great roommate in college for at least the most part of it. Before we had another girl move in, she was just trailer trash. But my roommate Crystal was great. And so it was just, like, such a learning period. It was also, like, I definitely drank like crazy during, like, this was peak alcoholism. Like, I was still an alcoholic after, but I think during this time period, it was just a very dark drinking. It was very dark. I got a flask. I'd never had a flask. I used a flask at my sister's wedding because people guilted me into going. I never went because I wanted to. And I should have gone for myself and not because of her. But it was just all shitty. It was a really hard day. It was very dark. And it's frustrating because my mom will repost pictures of my sister's wedding every year. And it's like picture of me and my sister. And we literally didn't talk for like 7 years after that day. Like, we talked every now and then. Like, during the pandemic, we, like, tried, but it's like we didn't. It would last like a week at most. But yeah, it was really dark. But then my sister called and apologized, and it was a whole nice thing. And I don't know. It lasted for like 10 months and that was cool, but I just had gotten so used to not having her in my life, and it was really, I learned to be okay with it, and it was frustrating for her to reach out all those years and kind of like just not mean, like to not change at all. Because I've done a lot of changing and growing in that time. I'm nowhere close to the 19-year-old I was, but it's frustrating because I don't think I'll ever not be seen as that 19-year-old. I don't drink. I mean, yes, I still smoke weed, but I'm not the same bitter, sad person I was. And it's just frustrating that it's like, I can't have you not see me as that, and you also haven't changed, and I feel like being around you and the way you treat me makes me almost turn back into that sad girl, and I don't like that. But yeah, I don't know, when people talk about like, I know I was in a sorority for 1 semester in college, and people like talk about how they join it for sisterhood, and all I gotta say is most sisterhoods I've experienced are fucking backstabby bitches. Okay, I do think being friends, I have, my most important relationships are with women. I just have such a problem with the word sisterhood, and I think it's definitely because of my personal history with that word. Yeah, I don't know, it's just weird. It's weird when you don't really have like a family you feel like you can go home to, or in fact you weren't welcome home to at all for a while. And it's weird. It's weird because it feels like just the same people that are telling you family's so important make it clear they're like, I don't know about you though, you know, like I don't know. But I think about character, you know. I'm like trying to be a positive person, and basically my therapist wants me to, I've been told by therapists, because I'm a very negative person naturally and I want to be more positive, I've been told I should reframe my thoughts, which is basically like putting a PR spin on your thoughts, which just makes it feel like I'm gaslighting myself. You know, like, no, the oil was good for the ducks. It made them softer before the dish soap helped it out. But yeah, I'm like trying to find, you know, good spins on situations, like the drive to South Texas. It was long. However, what a great opportunity to sit with your thoughts in silence. That sounds awful, but you know, it was a great, yeah. I did, for the most part, listen to music. I am glad that the music was available on this, because most of the time when we go to South Texas, we take my boyfriend's car and he doesn't have a radio because it's broken, and so when it doesn't hook up to phones or anything, because it's like literally just like the whole system's wrecked. However, this time we didn't have to sit in silence, so that was great. But yeah, I'm just trying to like I want to be more positive, but it's just like difficult. It doesn't come naturally to me. I don't know. I think it's because I generally expect the worst thing to always happen, and even when good things are happening, I'm just constantly waiting for the shoe to drop. I wish my body would like know that it's okay to relax, and I'm like thinking about it, how like logically, like things are gonna happen however they happen, and having anxiety about it changes nothing. Yes, true. However, I also don't know how to not think about things. I'm trying to meditate these days. I'd be working on my meditating. That's a whole, I don't even know if I'm doing it right. I meditate by just sitting there, and then I start thinking about things. I'm like, no, you gotta breathe again. And I think that's what meditating is. Meditating for me is like coming on Lexapro. You're not really sure if you did it, but you're like, maybe? Yeah. But it's a whole, I don't know. I'm really trying to hone in on getting my mental shit together more than I have in the past. And I do a decent job of it. It's so funny though, because my boyfriend's very normal. And like normal as in he doesn't have like as many, he don't have the chemical imbalance and shit. But also like I have a lot of friends in my life who like are clearly mentally ill and they're now getting on medication. So it's weird because like those people will suggest for me to get on medication. They'll be like, I just started Lexapro. Oh my God, you should like, maybe it could help because you know you're down. I'm like, oh no, this is me on antidepressants already. Like I've been medicated since I was 12, not a flex. It's more like I have a really insane chemical imbalance and it sucks. My parents are both I hate the word extremely mentally ill, but mental illness runs in my family like hella on both sides, you know. My mom's probably a little more so, but like it's just a lot to like, I've been on antidepressants and this is a very functional Britney. This is actually probably the most functional Britney there's been. Like, even when I used to create more in the past, that was just, like, different, you know? I was also, like, I don't know, probably drinking and then just, I think I just didn't have as much life happen to me then. I don't know, man. The past 3 years have been like phenomenal, and I've been reflecting on them and like moving back to Texas, my time in New York and everything. And you know, obviously I won't shut up about it because I'm back in my hometown and I like it here, but it's still, I miss the city so much, and that's okay because will always be there. I can always visit, but I do miss it. But like, so much life has happened and I'm so grateful for where I am because I wouldn't have been there for my dad if I were still in New York, and I think it's such a blessing I got to be there because I was here. But it is like, I'm trying to remember that like things are good. That was a lot to say that. Couldn't tell you exactly what I was trying to say, but I don't know. So much has happened over the past 3 years. I remember moving to New York with so much hope, but it never felt like it was going to be permanent. Like, I wanted it to be so badly, but every day I woke up feeling like a tourist still, just like in awe of the fact that I live there. And I am grateful and I woke up every day grateful to be there. I'm grateful to be here, but it was just really cool and I loved it. It was just so surreal. There's something I had dreamed up for so long. And it like had finally come true, and it was really a special time. And then life happens. I had been casually seeing a guy friend, and he killed himself after I had been living. I moved there in February. That happened in September, so that was rough. And then in January, not even 6 months later, my dad got diagnosed with cancer. So that was really also rough. Also, not to mention, the whole first summer I was in New York, I thought I had, might have blood cancer because my doctor he said not to freak out, but he referred me to an oncologist or something. I think it was an oncologist, to check my platelets because I had too few, too little, and then I had other weird suspicious stuff. Turns out though, their machine just couldn't, they had to hand count it and I was fine. But that was like solid 3 months after just moving there, thinking I had that. Then the suicide, which is awful. He was such a sweet human. And then my dad's cancer. And then after living there for a year, I started like passing out and like convulsing. I would say it was seizure-like. However, my doctor, who also had me thinking I had cancer, told me I had just had anxiety. The only thing stressing me out was that I kept passing out and then like you know, like literally felt like I was having a fucking seizure. And he said I couldn't have been having a seizure because I didn't shit myself or pee myself. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's a weird ordeal. I now realize, and I feel like I now realize, because I was freaking out. It was that, my dad's cancer. I was freaking out a lot, and so then I moved back. But I haven't had a single thing like that happen since. So I think I might have been around some black mold for a few years there, which is disappointing. But yeah, would make sense for that part. But then move back and just, I don't know. I got to go on tour. It was really cool. But yeah, I don't know. And I got to be there for my dad's surgery, which was really cool. And I got to go to Hawaii, and yeah. I don't know, it's all good things. Anyways, I'm probably yapping too long. I'm a yapaholic. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you guys think about the idea of me like crocheting throughout it. And if you stayed this long, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. Future shows coming up, I don't know. Comment below if you want me to come to a city near you. Join my email list. It will be in my link tree below. And I will be at Creek in the Cave Saturday, 11 p.m. for Freaky. I host it. You should come sometime. Come to Austin and come see me at Creek in the Cave. Hope you guys have a great night or day wherever you are. Live, laugh, love it. Bye.